See how easy it is for her? Wait. I got it. I'm
Did she
dead. I'm dead.
For all of those who have perhaps been living under a rock, can you please tell us your full name and what you're known for?
My name is Misty Copeland. I am known for being a ballerina, the first Black ballerina in my company. I am known for being a mom, an activist, an author, a strong woman, all the things.
I think one of the interesting things about your story is that you actually didn't start dance until you were a teenager, 13 years old. What drew you to dance, and how did you know that you just had that natural, organic inclination towards it?
I'm one of 6 children. I grew up in a single parent home. I started moving when I was 2 years old. I was extremely shy, didn't speak, and dance gave me a language that felt right for me, using my body to speak and to tell stories.
I love that. I think a lot of times when we see in the dance world, specifically in ballet, the prototypical dancer, I know that for you as a Black woman, you didn't fit that mold. How were you able to really push past that stereotype?
Being the only Black woman in my company for the first decade of my career was extremely difficult. But I think also there's this idea that, Black women are too muscular and they're kind of too overdeveloped in so many ways. And I've always just kind of been put in that box because I am a Black woman. But then a lot of people meet me and they're often really surprised at how petite I am. I think it's really been understanding and recognizing, first of all, that strength is not a negative or bad thing, or, really embracing that this is my body.
Yeah, no question. There's a blueprint for sure, but you've created your own in that sense. The discipline of dance is something that a lot of people don't see. What is that like, the training that really goes into it?
People don't often think of us dancers, specifically ballet dancers, as athletes. I have the same injuries as professional football, professional basketball players. We're in the studio 7 hours a day training, 5 to 6 days a week.
Oh my gosh.
And then we'll have 1 to 2 performances that can be 3 hours long.
And the training is not just, bar class. It's so much more intense. Like, you have to cross train too.
Yes. I mean, also when people think about ballet class, you're at a bar and you're just kind of like, it looks very serene almost.
It's very hard.
It is very hard. You might rehearse 5 different pieces or 5 different ballets in a day. And then in between, a lot of dancers will go and they'll do cardio and they'll do cross training and weightlifting and Pilates and gyrotonics. And there's something that like ballet has given me that's really shown me like the complexity of what strength can be.
There's so much more to strength than just the physicality of it all.
Yes.
In all of the interviews you've done throughout your life and in your career, I'm sure you get asked a lot of the same questions. Is there something that you've gleaned from your experience that you're asked that perhaps your male counterparts aren't?
The male dancer is often seen as like the strength behind the woman, where, we might be asked, what is your favorite role, or what is your approach to this character, or what is your favorite costume? These kind of condescending, do you eat? And it's like, do you see what I do?
Right.
I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I weren't fueling my body and I wasn't strong. It's more kind of about these like superficial things rather than like, what does it take to do what you do?
Please.
What does it take to stand on point and perform in front of thousands of people? The man's not actually holding me up. Like, I'm doing this on my own. I'm balanced on my own 2 toes, on my toes, on my own 2 feet. There's so much strength that goes into the training to be able to do what we do, but we're not often asked about our strength in that way.
Yeah. Given your background, what's your relationship with your skin and with your body?
Yeah, I definitely see my skin as the first costume I ever got to wear. And I really view my body as my instrument. I think about being 13 years old and being in the ballet studio. You're in a leotard and tights, you're staring at yourself in a mirror, and I felt so in control, and it was like I was just wearing my skin.
Like, it is just your silhouette, it is your body, it is your skin, it is your muscles. And that's one of the things I find so beautiful. Like, look, I love an adorned tutu and a tiara, I do. But I think that when you're in class specifically, it's so raw.
This is all me. There's
Yeah.
nothing else working here but me and my skin and my body.
How does the effort you put into your skin help you perform? Because for me, we can be many things, but ashy is not one of them.
Girl.
Never. Ever.
Oh my gosh, I know. I mean, as a Black woman, I mean, that's just, you don't
Knees,
walk out of the
elbows, like it
house,
was just.
It's definitely, a big part of the preparation for going on stage, but also kind of the come down.
Yeah.
And, the lights hit our skin and our hair and the makeup, and it's dried out, and to be able to kind of have this ritual of coming off stage and removing the makeup and kind of coming back to self and putting on the moisturizer, and feeling just like back in your body again.
Yeah.
There's something that's that I think changes the way I think about moisture in my body and putting it on my feet as an athlete and as a ballerina. That's a part of my body, and that I shouldn't neglect it.
And it shows. Can we just up for a minute about elder millennials? I'm 41, 40, like, period.
Moisturize.
Moisturize. The proof is in the pudding. Hello. When we talk about retirement, the media has a very specific narrative around athletes and transitioning out or just evolving. What does that look like for you?
I never saw performing on a stage doing classical works as my end all be all.
Sure.
That's why I kept using the word farewell. It was saying goodbye to this chapter with this company, but it doesn't mean that, life's over and people are like, well, what are you doing now? And I'm like, I'm busier than ever.
Right.
And that's why being here today feels extremely special, being a part of a brand like Aveeno and partnering with Together and featuring incredible strong women that understand, again, that words matter, and that we can be in control of our narrative and how we are portrayed and what strength looks like for each of us.